Whenever
you
you're
wake
thinking
up,
about
you
it,
brush
right?
your teeth, you send Dynasty trades. Like,
Yes.
that's what your day should look like. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't, you're doing something wrong.
Did you know the best strategy in Dynasty is to sell a player as soon as they produce?
That's sarcasm. Depends on how you define a good Dynasty team. And that can be subjective, but to us, good means you win money because money is cool. Why the heck else would you get in these leagues with a buy-in if you didn't want to win the entire league and take people's money? A team that can compete for 2 or 3 years, that's what makes a good Dynasty roster. That's what you're just donating your buy-in if you're just in a perpetual rebuild. I'm a genius, dude.
I know.
It's if you let what you think about a player override value, thinking strategically, it's going to kill you.
Look beyond your opinion of a player and look at the market value. If someone has fallen 2 rounds, take them. Yeah, and I think that's really what we're saying. It often behooves you to down tier for more points instead of down tiering for depth.
Are you like doing
And
like an
that's
SAT
something that we
words
really
thing? Because you keep saying usurp and
I'm
behooves.
sorry. I've never said
I-
behoove.
Like, what's the app on your phone where you like learn new words?
Well, that's what I've been
Yeah.
doing this entire time. I'm like, I've been thesaurusing all of
When you
this,
see
so-
Nathan sitting in thought, he's like, what word am I going to use when it gets to me? Go ahead.
No, but
Chris, I love him, Olave.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, I love him. Yeah, Drake, I love him, London.
Not somebody that we did a prospect video before the draft. Not somebody that I watched film on. Did you watch film on him?
I did.
Yeah, whatever. Did you watch film on him?
I did.
Okay, everybody watched film but me.
Market value fluctuates week to week in Dynasty. And the funny thing is, it actually happens more in the offseason than it does during the actual season when things are going on.
is
Because
crazy.
Dynasty players get bored.
Because we get bored.
That's why we play Dynasty.
Yep. There are a couple guys in Dynasty that you really can't say anything about without getting completely draft rolled. No. But buy Tony Pollard now while he's going in the 5th round, so next year you can make sure you brag about it when he's going in the 11th. If you really want to buy into high-producing running backs, why not do the running backs that have already fallen because of the age? There's zero chance that his value is higher next year than it is now with Tony. There's not a chance.
Please sell Tony Pollard. Please do not draft him. Draft the young wide receiver instead.
Nick
And,
Chubb.
and if you're,
that's-
some of you are gonna watch this and still draft him anyways, and you're hopeless. I'm sorry. You shouldn't
Wow.
be playing Dynasty.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you guys? I mean, seriously. What is it about Tony Pollard that we're that excited about? You think Tony Pollard's the workhorse between the tackles back? Seriously? And now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's Cam Akers season again. And he's sliding back.
Cam Akers,
so he's going.
SZN.
You have, I kid you not, a 3rd chance to sell Cam Akers. I am pleading with you to do it now. I've never seen, and people are like, oh, I'm not so sure I'm selling Cam Akers. Why would you not? Somebody's going to get on this jersey wearing a split Tony Pollard Cam Akers jersey and be like, these guys suck. Like,
The Bears suck. That's why they have the 1st overall pick. Yeah.
It is hilarious how much Bears fans have been flexing that they got the #1 pick. I'm like, you are flexing that you were the
We have
worst
Justin
team in-
Fields and the #1 pick. Is there a correlation there?
because I can already tell people are watching this video and there's tears rolling down their face.
Clickbait.
They're so mad.
Subpar analysis.
Do us a huge favor. If you want these huge values, do a huge like on this huge video and make sure you huge subscribe. And that didn't make
Huge.
sense. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Monday night. Mondays suck. Work sucks. Dynasty Fantasy Football doesn't suck. So
Correct.
because of that,
why we do it on
here.
Mondays.
That's what. Yeah, I mean, like if we can do anything to make Mondays better, that was the original reason we got together on Mondays before we even started podcasting.
Yeah.
So
Monday Night Football.
yeah. All right, we're happy you're here. We're going to do some blueprints tonight. These blueprints are from our Mother Flocker supporters over on flockfantasy.com/domain. Again, we've talked about flockfantasy.com/domain a lot, but this is how you get a blueprint. And not only right now do you get a blueprint, but you also get our 2024 Dynasty Rookie Draft Guide. When you sign up with code DOMAIN, you get 30% off. That's how you get one of these. I've linked it up in the comments pinned and also down below. So like I said, if you want one of those, flockfantasy.com/domain, like I said, use code domain. We've got some people here in the comments. Let's say hi to some of our favorite people. Let's go up top. I know Anna's here. Anna's been looking forward to this all day. Corey Nichols has the 101 through the 107 in his league, and he's asking if he should trade all of them for a grilled cheese. Sam, what do you think?
He hasn't eaten in weeks.
Any food-related trade I'm going to ask Sam for.
I mean,
Why
how much
grilled
is a
cheese?
buy-in? How much is a grilled cheese?
Okay, that's true. It's for fun. Take
What
the
type of
grilled
grilled
cheese.
cheese?
That's true. Well, what are the types of grilled cheese?
Well, it all depends on the cheese and the brand. Like, if
Okay.
you're just getting like,
Right.
the cheap kind that's more oil than cheese, then definitely.
And
take
does
the
it come
pigs.
with a bowl of chili or tomato soup? Because that'll
okay.
Help.
Yeah.
Sway.
That's fair.
I think tomato soup with grilled cheese is good too. but
Yeah,
Hunter
it's
Hots
pretty
here.
good.
Hunter says
I'm
in
a
a
big
one
tomato soup
QB
guy.
Dynasty league, I have Waddle, Rice, Reed, Dubs, and Wilson. Any moves I should make in my wide receiver room? You don't have like a super stud. You don't have one of those top 10 guys. Waddle's just looking outside of that top 10, but you do have a bunch of guys in that like 10 to 23 range. Waddle, Rice, and Reed, and you've got Dubs and Wilson, two guys that really could be solid flex guys for you. Any moves you should make right now? I'm holding Waddle. I probably would hold Rice, and here we go. Okay, and Waffle Hauser with his super chat of the day, and he's gonna make me read this, I'm sure. Oh man, here we go. There once was a streamer named Avery. To dog Waffle Hauser's team, he showed true bravery. Though his blueprints were sweet and forced opponents to retreat, the taste it left was unsavory.
Oh my
Hashtag
gosh.
Wafflegate 2024. You had to do it this early in the
It
stream.
even rhymes. That
So
was beautiful.
no, he told me he wrote a poem.
Oh my
That was a poem.
gosh.
So Waffle Hauser likes to make me say things that I don't like saying. That was one of them. He is also one of our most active supporters over
was
on the
ready
Discord.
for it,
I know. He
man.
was like right away. Waffle
They're
Hauser,
on.
dude.
Copy paste. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, that was not super enjoyable, but I respect and actually pretty creative. But Waffle Hauser is one of our most active guys over on the Discord on Flock Fantasy. So like I said, use code domain. You get to interact with Waffle Hauser. As you can see, he's a very funny dude. That was really.
Oh, I guarantee you that literally everyone except for you is getting entertainment out of that. So it is 100% worth it.
Yeah, whatever.
Thank you, Waffle Hauser.
Yeah. Waffle Hauser, we appreciate your super chat, man. Thanks for being a supporter. You know we love you. All right,
And
let's go
hardly know
ahead
her.
and do what?
Hardly know her.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Sam, I did forget to link the blueprint scenes on here. So will you do the blueprint scenes for us? Let's do
Nice.
our first blueprint of the night. And our first blueprint, Nathan, I will let you do this one, comes from As Fried Hoff, which that name is not meaning anything and definitely not like a play on words or anything. So
No.
let's do As Fried Hoff. Okay.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is going to be a 12-team league, and it will be a super flex, which is, that's our type of thing.
Yeah,
12
super flex
teams,
is good.
start 10, super flex. Love these settings, and tight end premium as well. You've got a dual elite QB situation going on right now. You've got CJ Stroud and Kyler Murray. Absolutely love your quarterback outlook. I mean, you've got the skeleton of your dynasty team when you have two elite quarterbacks in a Superflex league. You cannot ask for any better. Running backs, not so great. Kendry Miller, Ty Chandler as your best starters there, and really nothing on the bench. You've got, outside of Kendry Miller, you got nothing to show for there at the running back position, but could be worse. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Brandon Ayuk, and Christian Kirk are going to be your top 4 wide receivers. That is a great wide receiver room, especially in a 12-team. You've got one of the premier top 5 dynasty wide receivers in Amon-Ra. You just got another one to throw in there, too, with Garrett Wilson. And, may as well just add another top 12 dynasty wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk, market value-wise at the moment. I mean, this is up there in terms of wide receiver rankings. Past those 3 guys and then a little Christian Kirk sprinkled on top, you really don't have anything. So I will give you a modest 8 out of 10, which is ridiculous and still really, really good. And then your tight ends, solid from a value perspective. You got Kyle Pitts, and then you have Michael Mayer on your bench. Very interested in Michael Mayer. Overall, I think I have, in some blueprints that I do, I recommend to sell. In others, I recommend to, hold, not do anything with them. In this one, I will say to sell, though, because we are talking about a tight end premium format. Let's go get an elite tight end. Let's pair Kyle Pitts and Michael Mayer together. Please go get TJ Hawkinson at a discount right now. The only reason he's discounted is because of the injury. Don't be afraid of the injury. Even if he starts slow next season, it's worth it. If he hadn't if he hadn't gone down with the injury, he would have been, next to Sam Laporta as tight end 2 right now in Dynasty, and it would not have been close compared to anyone else like Trey McBride. I am going to recommend that you sell Garrett Wilson. With the wide receivers that you have, you kind of have the flexibility to move around some assets. And let's try and get a little bit of a safer situation. Like if you're looking at a player in the same tier as Garrett Wilson, that's Puka Nacua. Puka's value, very, very different across dynasty spaces, across the community. A lot of people value Puka very highly. A lot of people value him very low. If you're in a league where people rank Garrett Wilson significantly over Puka Nacua, please go get Puka and get a significant amount on top in return. If it's kind of the same tier or kind of a lateral move, maybe go target a T. Higgins. And, if you can't, maybe include that 111 to get that proven asset in T. Higgins, or trade back into the early second round. Those would be some of the assets that I recommend you move back. And the reason I'm telling you to move back from the 111 is because of all the other first round picks you have this year. You have the 103, the 104, the 109, the 111, 203, 204, 205, a bunch of ridiculous seconds, 2 extra 25 first, an extra 25 second. I mean, I could have, your team archetype could have been elite value just as much as dual elite QB here. Your future outlook is incredibly promising. Yeah, you don't have anything at running back, but you absolutely have the draft capital to go ahead and easily buy a Jonathan Taylor. Heck, you could go out there and get Jahmyr Gibbs, and it wouldn't really even hurt you that much with all the value you have. So your depth issue, I'm not really concerned about it. We don't give you a super great depth grade here, but your depth issue is going to be solved through the draft. You have ridiculously insane value. Insane. So all those rookie picks, it's going to be safe.
Whoa, what was that?
All those rookie picks.
Rookie poke?
It's going to be safe to invest in a proven running back or two. And as long as they have a safe 2 to 3 year guaranteed situation, like a JT, like a Kyron Williams or a Jahmyr Gibbs, please go ahead and go get those guys. And you can absolutely afford it. You've got a serious contending chance this offseason or this season in 2024 with enough moves this offseason. So really, really excited about your future outlook especially. And just keep in mind, a little note here, this is a 6-point passing touchdown format league. So that means that your rushing upside QBs are going to get knocked down just a little bit because they don't make as much of a difference with those rushing touchdowns.
As Friedhoff, we appreciate you being a member of the flock. And also, we appreciate you supporting the channel. And guys, if you want a team blueprint, like I mentioned, all you have to do is head over to flockfantasy.com/domain and use code domain. I do want to highlight a comment here from our lead analyst, Ryan Bredd, who says, with all those draft picks at the bottom, Sam, with all those draft picks, I sure hope he is well informed on the players in the draft! ! If he doesn't, I wonder if there are any resources to learn about them.
Are there?
I am having a hard time. Yeah. Our rookie draft guide. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we could do that.
It's super cool and awesome and stuff and very informative.
Yeah, sign up, use code domain, and you not only get the blueprint like we just did, but rookie draft guide. Let's go through a couple comments here. We got some of our most loyal supporters. Back up to the top, Sam. I'll go through some of these guys that were here early. Molly Boys Fantasy Football. What is up, my friend? Love these streams. Best Dynasty channel out there. Appreciate that. Having a hard time figuring out values for an 8-team. Oh, we know 8-team. Half PPR. That was our league. That was our original Dynasty league. Would you add something on top of Waddle to get CMC? Yes. If so, what pick range? Late first, early second?
Yep.
Late first, early second.
Probably an early second, just because it's going to be
second.
That late first value asset.
The quarterbacks,
in an 8-team.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking early to mid second, actually. Agree?
Yeah, I think an early second is fair.
All right. Appreciate it, buddy. Hunter says, what do I do with T-Law? Hold, because his value has gone down, so you have to hold at this point. Hunter says, how good is Jaden Daniels? You think he falls to the 203 in a 1 QB dynasty?
No,
Probably
I don't
not
think
there.
he will in the 203. I think, honestly, in 1 QB, if Jaden Daniels gets the draft capital that a lot of people assume that he will, I think you're looking at Jaden Daniels dang near in the same tier as Caleb Williams in a 1 QB because of his rushing upside. And we know that in a 1 QB format, those high rushing upside assets of the quarterback position are really what set you apart from your league mates. So Jaden Daniels could definitely be that guy. So I would assume if you're looking at a 12 team, he would go anywhere from 107 to 111 would be the range that I guess he goes.
So the last one here, we'll do another blueprint. Nat says, I'm in the 12th round of a startup, and I have my starting 10 established. Okay, is this a good spot just to take a swing on Daniel Jones? Start 10, 12-team Superflex, and 1 to our league settings. 12th round, when you get to that point, is as good a time as ever to take swing on quarterback, especially ones that are going to give you starting value for the next couple of years, or even next year, like Baker Mayfield last year. Daniel Jones probably going to start this year, even if they draft a quarterback. So, I mean, I think it's a fine place to do that. I don't think there's a better, I mean, if there was like a threshold where like, okay, now I'll draft him, 12th, 13th round would be it. So, yeah, I think so. Ben also says, let's go, Ben. And let's go to our second blueprint of the night. This blueprint, courtesy of our Flock supporter, Bread K17. We appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you supporting the channel and supporting us. And we are going to go and do your blueprint here as soon as I pull it up. Where the heck is his blueprint? I was searching for it, and now I can't find it.
Just do it alphabetically. Just sort it alphabetically.
You are so smart, dude. You are so smart. Like,
Oh, thanks, man.
I really don't know what I'd do without you. Bread K17. 12-team league. Here we go. Again, appreciate you being a member of the Flock, but looking at your team here, you've got 12 teams in this league. It is a super flex league. You've got 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, tied into flex, and 10 bench. You got 3 on your taxi, and you do have kicker. But it's all right. And it's 5-point passing touchdown, by the way. So let's take a look first at your lineup. Josh Allen and Kyler Murray in your starting lineup as quarterbacks. So you got a dual elite QB build for your team archetype. Brian Robinson, Tyler Algier, so not any running backs, which I think is going to be good for when you look at the contender rebuild scale. You're kind of right in the middle. You lean a little bit rebuild, so we don't really emphasize running backs on rebuilds that often. Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, JSN, Dontavian Wicks, Quentin Johnson at wide receiver starting lineup. Cade Otton in at tight end. And then on your bench, Miles Sanders, Michael Gallup, and Alan Lazard, as well as Gabe Davis, Treylon Burks, Josh Palmer. So P.J. Washington, Tucker Kraft. So some solid bench guys there, but you know, not really startable bench. These are more, a lot of these guys on the bench are more, could project to be starters, but not yet starters. So we'll give you a 3 for your bench. So this is going to be a rebuild this year, obviously. Your starting lineup's not one that's probably going to contend with others in your league, but we always emphasize. And so when we're doing rebuild blueprints, one thing that we always emphasize is 1-year rebuild. We love 1-year rebuilds, and we don't love 2-year rebuilds. We don't love multi-year rebuilds. We love 1-year rebuilds. Years 2 and 3 are going to be contend years for you. Building around Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, and then Amon-Ra and JSN, really, really solid. I mean, like, I want dual elite QB builds on rebuilds. I love that. I love your build. I am trading Garrett Wilson, similar to the last rebuild. There's something with a safer situation or rookie picks. Puka Nacua listed as a player to target. I think moving Garrett Wilson for Puka Nacua, if you can make that deal, something I would do. Maybe swap some other assets there. Brian Robinson and Tyler Algier for an elite tight end like Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is a guy that you could probably combine Robinson and Algier together right now and get close to.
Close.
Mark Andrews is cheap.
Insane.
It's insane. The rookie 110. Either trade it for a proven asset or trade back. It is one of your rookie picks for this year. You have the 101, 103, 110, 203, and an extra 25 first. So your draft capital grade is very high here. And we like to see that. Again, you have, especially with the extra 25 first, we have a video coming out on this week. You've got a lot of insulated value here with the picks, and I really like it. And this is a team that will be able to contend in a year. You have to make the right moves now to make sure you're contending, though. And I think some of the moves that I just mentioned in the look to trade section are going to be some that we'll look at here. Positionally, 9 out of 10 at quarterback. You really good job getting 2 elite QBs. We really like that as well. 1 out of 10 at running back, which for a rebuild, that's what we want. 9 out of 10 at receiver. So again, the quarterback and receiver positions being 9, that's what we like on a rebuild. This is ideal rebuild right here. And then 2 out of 10 at tight end, which we don't really, I mean, make it. We're not super strong either way in terms of like, do you need to have an elite tight end? Do you not on a rebuild? But we're telling you to target one. We obviously think it's okay. So, again, your draft capital is very, very good. And some suggestions and comments for you. It's safe to invest in rookie or second-year running backs with promising situations. Some of them you can get for pretty cheap. A top 4 producing tight end will set you apart once you go to contend a year from now. So, try to buy low on a Mark Andrews, or even a TJ Hawkinson. Most pieces are set in place to begin contending. You just need a few more assets. You just need to keep accumulating value wins. And then eventually, next year, you have a whole year and a half to do this. By the start of 2025, you should be ready. Bread, this is a good team, man. Good job loading up at the right positions and in draft capital. Good job insulating your value. You're doing the rebuild right. We love seeing these rebuilds that look like this. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for being a member of the Flock. Let's go ahead and go to our third blueprint here. Nathan, I'll let you take this one. This is from our guy, CC Kleinfelter. CC, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for being a member of the Flock. Like I said, code domain if you guys want to join and get a blueprint. But another interesting team, a well-rounded team that we've got here.
Yeah, very well-rounded. You're obviously starting with Patrick Mahomes as your best QB here in a super flex. You've got Jared Goff as your second QB. A lot of people look at that and be like, that's okay. That's phenomenal. Okay, Jared Goff is a top 12 producing quarterback.
Yes.
He is severely underrated right now. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's one of the top 2 best dynasty assets right now in Dynasty Fantasy Football, and he will be for years to come. At the running back position, you've got Breece Hall and Josh Jacobs as your best running backs with David Montgomery in your flex. Nothing much after that, but I mean, that's pretty solid value-wise. At the wide receiver position, you've got Waddle, Devonta Smith, and Rashee Rice. So nothing ultra elite, but a lot of very good, solid top 24 dynasty wide receivers in your starting lineup. And when I'm looking at your depth, it's nothing really to write home about. You've got Dontavion Wicks, which is a notable guy, and Tank Bigsby. Maybe he could turn into something. Keaton Mitchell, obviously coming off the ACL, but he could do something in the Ravens offense because apparently anyone can. And then Elijah Mitchell as well. Overall, your cornerstone assets are pretty solid, and I really like your picks as well. You've got the 104, right? So it's nothing like insane, like multiple first-round picks like the last two teams that we've done. But the 104, if that's all you got in this year's class, that's good.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's a top 3 startup dynasty startup round dynasty pick. A top 3 round dynasty startup pick.
You did who?
The 104. Shut up.
You did what with the
thing? Exactly. So overall, you're pretty well rounded at the most vital positions. At the quarterback position, the wide receiver position, running back, you're looking good. Tight end, you don't have like the craziest grade, but you do have Pat Freiermuth, which does provide some trade value. And guess what? Anytime you'll see this as a trend. Anytime someone has Pat Freiermuth on their team. We are normally recommending that you sell Pat Freiermuth. I know it's really offensive. Nothing against Pat P. As a person or a player or a talent, but from a fantasy production perspective, he's literally worth like some of the lower end elite producing tight ends. Mark Andrews, get used to it. I really don't care if you're a rebuild or you're a contender. If you don't have an elite producing tight end, go get Mark Andrews. He's going to be around for the next 5 years. Even if you're rebuilding, he provides value, and he's going to be scoring points. He was scoring points before he got injured this year. That's not going to change. Devonta Smith, I'm the big thing I want to focus on here at the wide receiver position is upside. Let's raise your upside. Let's go get the potential of T. Higgins in the same range, JSN in the same range. Those guys can serve as wide receivers in their respective offenses, assuming T. Higgins goes to another situation, not in Cincinnati, and he's just a very good value overall. The dynasty community loves him. You'll have you'll have the upper hand in deals if you acquire T. Higgins. And since this is a 12-team Superflex, 1 PPR, no tight end premium. Just keep in mind, only those top 3 to 4 producing tight ends are going to really set you apart from your league mates. That's a Mark Andrews. Not great depth. You can still make some noise this year. If you make the moves that I recommended, and you acquire some of those assets that can score this year and go get a guy like Jonathan Taylor. If you give up a Breece Hall. If you give up Breece Hall, you can get the same production with Jonathan Taylor and a lot on top. That solves your depth issue. That solves your flex issue. Like, that solves everything.
Yep.
Seriously. Let's get a safer situation. JT has a safer situation, and you're getting him plus quite a bit when you give up Breece Hall. Try to eliminate your volatile assets / situations at wide receiver and running back. The more or the less volatility you have on a team, obviously, the better your long-term outlook is going to be. That's why we always recommend to rebuilds, like, hey, get rid of your running backs. Let's explore deals for a guy like Josh Jacobs after he signs a second deal. Like, let's see what you can get in return, possibly. It may not really pay dividends if you're not getting enough in return. So then you can just hold. But just, I'm telling you, explore those trades to try to avoid the volatility. And that's what I've got for your team.
CC Kleinfelter, again, we appreciate you being a part of the flock. Our next blueprint here is coming to us courtesy of Ransford, one of our domain mother flockers over there on flockfantasy.com. And like I said, I'll tell you guys again how to get these right after we do Ransford's here. But Ransford, we appreciate you being a member of the flock. Thanks for supporting the channel, man. And again, we did have, like, I sent out a message on our Discord today. I'm like, hey, if anybody wants their blueprint on the live stream, just let me know. And, well, that's... Well, you can turn it down right there, Sam. It's intro music. I don't know why it did that.
That's silly.
Yeah, you don't have to turn it all the way down.
Oh man, yeah, turn. It's
anyways, I said, hey, if you want, there you go. Yeah, I said if you want your blueprint read on the live stream, let me know. And I got like 40 messages in like 2 minutes. So if we don't get,
That was so funny. I was surprised that you did that, and then I was
know.
like, he's gonna get so many.
Even if we don't get to yours today, we are going to do yours. And so each sign up that you want a blueprint that you want it on the stream, we're going to do that for you. So Ransford, we're going to get you here next as a 12-team super flex league, 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, tight end, 1 flex. So a little bit of a shorter lineup here. Looking at your starting lineup, Brock Purdy in at quarterback with Jordan Love, so 2 very good quarterbacks there. And then the rest of your team outside of Jordan Addison are not guys I'm comfortable starting. Tucker Kraft, Isaiah Likely, Cedric Tillman, Alec Pierce, Generic Prince, and Kenny McIntosh. Now, let's look at your depth. Not much there either. Really not any start. Really, you have Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, and Jordan Addison on this team, and that's it. So while this is one we got, and Ransford was like, yeah, this is going to be a doozy. And it's a doozy. We have 2 years slotted out for a rebuild on this team. A lot of you guys have dynasty teams like this. I have a dynasty team like this. Like, it's bad. I just made all the wrong moves. And these are the ones that we really can help you with, because by year 3, we do want to be contending. You're building around 2 elite QBs and Jordan Addison, and then that's literally it. But we'll do that right after this, Sam. But your draft capital grade, solid. 101, 105, 201, 3 extra 25 first, and an extra 26 first. So you've got some future value, which means your team is not dead. Your
Far
team
from
is
it.
not. This Birdman says, Ransford, you got work to do, bro. He does have work to do. What is the man bun talk going on?
Oh, we
I'm
got
not
a
even
$5
reading
super
that.
chat. Oh, you absolutely are.
Oh my gosh,
You absolutely are.
you can't see it on this. Oh my gosh, starting the GoFundMe for the rebirth of.
Nathan's man bun. That's me. That's me.
Please, in the comments, tell Nathan not to bring them in. Like, I told him
freaking
I
go.
wouldn't record with him anymore if he does the man bun. I'm not kidding. I can't handle it.
I'm about halfway there.
Oh my gosh.
Producer Sam
It looked pretty
might
good in its prime.
just become was-were pronouns.
That's true. Past tense, as in he's going to leave if Nathan does a man. That's 2 of us. It'd just be Nathan if he does a man bun.
I might die.
All right, Hummels, we appreciate the super chat, but I cannot believe you just did that. Ransford, back to your team, man. Yeah, you got some work to do. So believe it or not, you only have a couple assets to trade, but Isaiah Likely is always going to be an asset that we say to trade because like we cannot
Oh my
help but laugh
gosh.
when we get this one. Isaiah Likely is valued as like a top 15 dynasty tight end, and he's behind Mark. He's a second string.
Yeah, ahead of
It is
Dallas
so
Goedert.
funny. So trade Kraft and Likely for Mark Andrews. Like, seriously, if you can do
Please.
that for the starter in that offense. Jordan Love, we're going to want Kyler Murray plus. We're going to try to down tier to Kyler if we can there. Kyler's jumped back up in value a little bit. Jordan Addison, higher value, ceiling, guy like JSN there is going to be, just trying to get small value wins. Again, the key whenever you are doing a hard rebuild like this is to get as many value wins and trades as you can. That means make as many trades as you can and win 10% value every time. It's or even 1%. It stacks up. It stacks up. Make as many trades as you can, Ransford. That is absolutely what we're going to say. On the contender rebuild scale, rebuild heavy. Very rebuild heavy. Not even close. And your draft capital grade, obviously, very high. Your positional grades, I think you expected. 7 at quarterback, 0, 2, 2 at the other ones. It's just not a ton of startable assets on this roster as it stands right now. So, suggestions, keep running back at 0. Oh, my gosh.
Let's
Let me finish this. This is stupid. Keep running back at 0. You don't need them. You only
I'm really thinking
focus
about
on
it now.
wide receiver and quarterback. Depth doesn't matter in a rebuild. Only value. And you have a very promising future outlook with the picks. You have to be patient, though. Ransford, again, hard rebuild, but we appreciate you. We're going to help you get through this, man. Appreciate that you're a flocker. All right, Let's go to full screen video, and we got some super chats.
This is just part of the
GoFundMe. Corey, we appreciate you a ton.
Corey, I do appreciate you.
But no.
Maybe Corey was going to ask a question, and it's not for the GoFundMe.
No,
I already
let's not
looked.
be
There's-
that optimistic.
Yeah.
Waffle Hauser says, Avery doesn't like man buns. I'm shocked. # fund the bun. And there's another comment. Are you guys serious?
Let's freaking go.
Wha-
Keep it coming. You're actually making me think about it now.
And there's Oscar. Oscar, what's up, dude?
Oscar.
Oscar's our favorite.
That's for fun in the bun, too.
No, it's not. Oscar does that every stream.
Hey, Oscar, let us know if these gifted memberships are for fun in the bun.
It's Seriously, like, I'll give. You know how much money I would pay for
we
Nathan
should
to
pull
have
up
an
a,
iPhone and not have a man bun? I'd give all of it, everything I own. Oscar says subscribe domain. Oscar, we love you. You know that, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. How shout out to the 10 guys that are members now.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys being members. And Oscar, I don't know what else to say. You're the man, dude. No, Corey says nope, just showing love. So not part of. Yes, Corey. Now I do love you.
Thank
man.
you,
Thanks,
Corey.
We love you, dude. Appreciate you, Corey Nichols. Like I said, we appreciate all you guys. So
It's a good thing you clarified because we would have hated you otherwise.
yeah, that's. Shut up, Sam. Sam does not speak for us.
Sam's.
Okay.
I am my own person.
So you're your own separate entity.
Are you sure about that?
You sure about that?
We just need a disclaimer.
You sure about going to flockfantasy.com domain?
I have
You
to
shut up. I'm
read
trying
a
to do my head.
disclaimer like every single time before I talk. My views do not represent
full
that
screen.
of domain.
Let's freaking go. Another one for the bun.
Nathan, you are not doing it.
Let's go.
I will.
You realize every time my hair gets about this length, I start thinking about it.
No. Oscar says no. That means you cannot do it. Oscar is the moral authority of our comment section. You cannot do the man bun. Petition to Mystic Flame also is a good one. He votes bun. So, how much does a bun cost? Petition to change Nathan's streamer name to Bad Bunny. Now that I'd be on board for. That would be funny.
On the Discord.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All
we
right.
have some pretty good flashbacks in the
Masternator.
in the
we
best
do,
of
we
clip
do
that we do at the
appreciate
beginning
you.
of every live stream
Yeah, that's true.
with the bun.
Masternator, we do appreciate you, man, for the super chat. I don't support the cause, but you are supporting me, I guess, as well as Nathan when you do a super chat. So
I just love the
say
I love the entertainment of the cause. It's the best.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ransford's here. Ransford, good to see you, man. And he says, I'm getting in the lab, don't worry. And you're getting in the lab with Nathan and I because we're going to help you get through that. Okay, I'm excited to rebuild his team. Yep. He's awesome. All right. Again, guys, getting a blueprint, getting our rookie draft guide, flockfantasy.com/domain. Here's what you'll do. You'll sign up with code domain when you create your account. You have to make sure your account's under code domain. When you sign up for the Mother Flocker tier, then you're going to sync your Discord. Oh, my gosh. Then you're going to sync your Discord, and once you do that, you're going to see the Team Blueprints channel, and then you're going to be able to follow the Google form there to submit your blueprint. We usually get those out within a week. So that's how you get it. You also get our 2024 Dynasty Rookie Draft Guide, which is available now. You get both of these things when you sign up with code domain at flockfantasy.com. Logan is here, and Logan just said, I've been lurking all season, and I finally pulled the trigger on getting the Mother Flocker subscription. Can't believe it took me this long. Logan, welcome to the club.
Yeah, let's go.
Appreciate you, buddy, and excited to do your blueprint. And if you haven't already, send me a friend request on Discord. Send Nathan a friend request so we can be right there when you need us to help you win some Dynasty Fantasy Football Championships. But we'd love to see you.
If you're looking to grow out your hair,
we'd love to see you all over there. But
too.
Logan, being one of our newest ones, he's near and dear to our hearts tonight. So Logan, we love you, dude. Mystic Flame says Bun comes back for 10K. Deal? We're not gonna we're not gonna get through all these
That's
blueprints
too
if we
near.
keep talking about.
That's too
I was gonna
near.
say, and then look, we're
How about 100,000?
we're climbing. You guys rock. We're climbing. Hey, if you're watching this and you want to make that number go up, it goes loop when you subscribe in real time. It's pretty fun.
If we got to 10K like during this
we
live
get to
stream,
10K
then I'll do
During the
bun.
live
Yeah,
stream,
if we get
yes.
to 10K,
I'll do the bun if we
we
get
get
to
to
10K for this live
tonight,
stream.
I'll let Nathan do
So
the
tell
bun.
your friends,
to come
tell your
subscribe.
friends to come subscribe.
We're gonna start. Nathan talked about like doing an incentive for like an all night live stream, and I think we're gonna try to come up with one. So
I cannot believe I brought that up because you realize what I turn into.
I know. I, even after we've been live for an hour, I know.
I know. Remember that one time we were on for like 3.5 hours?
Defund the bun. That is hilarious. I'm gonna make T-shirts.
Good.
Oh my gosh. David says, "Way to go, Logan." David, we love you too, man. But yep.
What if I grew out my hair until the Colts won the Super Bowl?
You probably set some kind of Guinness World Record.
Yep.
So, with our luck. All right, let's go to our fifth blueprint tonight.
Go
We're
to
going to be
my
talking about
grave.
man buns all night. I can't do this. Our fifth blueprint tonight comes from our guy, Southpaw C. Southpaw C, we
Hey.
appreciate you. I airdropped that one to you a couple minutes ago. Thanks for being a member of the flock. I just told you guys how to join. We'd love to have you all over there. Guys, we have a lot of subscribers over there, mostly Dynasty players. Like, we live for Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Live and breathe.
Flockfantasy.com/domain. Southpaw C's team is up.
Live and breathe. This is a wide receiver factory if I've ever seen one. You got CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Chris Olave as your top 3 wide receivers. So it's kind of nice for your top 3 wide receivers to all be, top 12 dynasty cornerstone wide receivers. Looking real good there. At the running back position, nothing insane, but not bad. You got Pacheco and Tyjae Spears as your top 2. I honestly am not against that at all. Like, if you're not going to have some of the top cornerstone running backs, which, those are volatile anyways, go ahead and get these guys that are kind of, mid-value assets where if they fall and they fail, what are you really out on value-wise? Not that much at all. Love your I actually don't love your quarterbacks, but Trevor Lawrence is okay. Trevor Lawrence is good. He's not just okay. Daniel Jones is more like probably going to be phased out in a year or two.
Probably.
We'll see once they have an out in his contract, which is after this year. But overall, I'm not super duper worried about it because you do have the 105 and the 106 in this year's draft. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, Drake May, check. Yes, please, and thank you. You'll be fine at the quarterback position, I think, going into 2024 when it's all said and done. When I'm looking for some guys to trade, even though I do like Isaiah Pacheco, I do think there is plenty of risk with him. Like the fact that he produced at the level that he has the last couple of seasons as a 6th-round running back is a testament to him as a talent, but also a testament to the Chiefs front office and their ability to find hidden gems like that in the 6th or 7th round. And if they can find a Pacheco, they can find another one and replace him like that. So let's look to trade away Isaiah Pacheco, and let's try to get a cheap QB or a nice value wide receiver. I'm not kidding. If you give up Isaiah Pacheco, plus maybe a little bit on top, maybe a second, you can go and you can get Bryce Young. You actually can. Yeah. And start low. Start low. Are we saying that Bryce Young is going to have this breakout season and be amazing? Not necessarily.
No.
But I do think his value is worth the risk at the moment, especially when you see the head coaching hiring in Dave Canales. I'm a big fan of that. It is not often that I'm recommending people go invest in Bryce Young, but this is one of those times where I think it would be worth it, especially when you already have a volatile asset in Isaiah Pacheco. A.J. Brown, let's try to get the 103, or let's down tier. Let's target guys like JSN, Puka, and Josh Downs and JSN specifically with the down tiers. Or if you're making a lateral move, try and get Puka Nacua. Damian Pierce, draft capital. If you can get any second, if it's a late second, super late second, please get it. I'm sure you'll have some takers there. Overall, you got decent cornerstone assets, especially at the wide receiver position. Very good, very elite. I'll give you a 9 out of 10 there. Your running backs 5 out of 10. You have value. It's nothing insane, but you have some assets to move around. And at the quarterback position, 4 out of 10. You got Lawrence. He's got question marks. Outside of that, you got nothing. That grade will move up after you get most likely a quarterback in your rookie draft. Your tight ends, you've got Mark Andrews. You don't need to invest in anyone at the tight end position unless they're a screaming value. But even then, don't prioritize it. You're fine. Yeah. You have one of the top 4 producing tight ends as long as he's playing this year, and he will be. Yep. So your 3-year outlook is going to be rebuild, contend over the next 3 years. I don't think you have the depth this year exactly for me to really be confident about saying you're absolutely going to contend. It doesn't mean you can't make some noise though. I've had some teams that didn't have great depth and I made a deep playoff run and it worked out. So it happens, absolutely does. Let's move off your running backs. They're super volatile. I would say don't be in a super duper huge rush to move off Tyjae Spears at the moment, but as he increases in value and as you approach 2024, the regular season, see if you can't ship him off at a premium to a contender since you are rebuilding this year. Continue to insulate your team value with draft capital. Draft capital is king as a rebuild. We will always preach that. Target 2025 because 2024 is only increasing in value right now. 2025 is just flat, and it's going to start climbing after March. Get a second elite QB if you can through the draft. If you want to get some more guaranteed success, you can start to move around some of these assets we recommended you trade and see if you can't go get like a Kyler Murray or something like that. So,
all right, Southpaw C. Really appreciate it, man. I've loved talking to you over at flockfantasy.com/domain. Love getting to know you on the Discord. Appreciate your support. Our next blueprint here is coming to us courtesy of one of our other mother flockers, Noah Green. Noah, we appreciate your support. Thanks for being a member of the flockfantasy.com/domain crew. Again, we got a couple hundred now, Dynasty players over there, chatting it up every day. So appreciate you, my friend. Let's pull up your blueprint here. Got to get it pulled up. I always procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
There we go.
Nice job.
All right, so Noah, this is a pretty solid team here. This is not a super flex. This is a 1 QB. Start 2 wide receivers, start 2 running back, 1 tight end, half point tight end premium. You also have a kicker, which we didn't even put in here. But your starting lineup, pretty solid. Purdy at QB. And then at running back, you've got Henry and Achane. You've also got Tyjae Spears down there. And then you've got Devonta Smith, Rashee Rice, and Nico Collins, as well as George Kittle at tight end. Your depth, pretty solid. Again, Kyler Murray and Jared Goff, which you already know what's coming here. You already know what's coming from a move standpoint. Ramondre at running back. You've also got McKinnon. You've got Jacoby Myers down there as well. Cole Kmet at tight end. So some pretty solid depth that is an 8 out of 10. You do project this year to be a rebuild, and we'll explain a little bit why down here. But cornerstone assets, you got 2 elite QBs, which you do have a well-rounded team archetype, but you could easily say dual elite QB here, I think. I think well-rounded for this team, I guess dual elite QB and a 1 QB wouldn't even matter. But well-rounded in a 1 QB is going to be more common. And Devon Achane is a cornerstone. Devonta Smith and Rashee Rice is a cornerstone. So let's go to some of the moves that you should be making on this team. And you already knew it was coming. We're going to trade Brock Purdy away for a solid wide receiver. Solid wide receiver in Brock Purdy's range. Let's look at
It's impressive.
our rankings. Really?
Mm-hmm.
In a 1 QB?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In a 1 QB, I'll pull it up here while you keep talking. You can keep talking about some of the assets, and I'll help you out.
Yeah. So some of the assets we have on your trade targets, so guys that would probably be good for you to target, Chris Olave and Josh Downs are 2 wide receivers that we have there as well. Kyron Williams at running back, which we said, trade Devon Achane for some consistency. Kyron Williams is a little bit more consistent, but even JT, if you can get close to 1-for-1 for JT, I would like that as well. For Nico, safer situation. So again, Nico would be a Chris Olave target for sure. I think Brock Purdy is going to be closer than Josh Downs.
Yeah, Josh Downs, a late first, David Montgomery, Jonathan Brooks right now, which is, that's pretty nice for a guy that has pretty much no rushing upside.
So one thing I like with this team is if you can go get one of the guys that he just mentioned, package 2 of your depth guys together and go get a stud. Because in a 1 QB where you're only starting, I think, 10 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. Wait, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Yeah, 8 players. So it's all about studs in this format. All about studs. So I like moving off of the quarterbacks, at least one of them, probably one of them, sending 2 of these. You got good depth too. And honestly, an 8 out of 10 depth score in a 1 QB like this where you're only starting 8 players, it doesn't mean a lot.
It doesn't matter.
It's not going to help you a lot either. So really, in this league format, in this type of roster build, we're not going to really want to have depth. We're not going to want to have a lot of QBs. Yeah. We're going to go for upside. And I do think there is some upside to be desired, especially at the wide receiver position. Devonta Smith is going to have a cap ceiling because he is the wide receiver 2 in his offense, right? Rashee Rice, he had a good rookie year. A lot of analytics suggest that Rashee Rice overperformed given what his role actually was in the Kansas City offensive. I really want to, Nico has upside too, but what I really want there on this roster is one of those top 5 wide receivers. That's really what I want. I want a CeeDee Lamb. I want a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase. I want a Puka Nacua. That's what I want. So I think you could easily add those guys on your players to target. I love Kyron Williams and Chris Olave, though. Chris Olave is a good buy low guy that is a wide receiver 1 in his offense that could give you that upside. His ceiling is higher than all of the guys that you have on your roster. That is true. So Chris Olave, I like there. Your draft capital grade's pretty good because you don't have your picks this year, but you've got 3 extra 25 firsts, which is fantastic. 2 extra 25 seconds and an extra 26 first. You project very well for the future. And my guess is, even though we have you as a rebuild for year 1, if you hold those 25 firsts and trade them maybe at the beginning or into the season, you might flip this team into a contender next year. I think you easily could.
But there's a chance if he makes enough moves right now with the guys that he has,
he could
keep his picks, make a push this year. Maybe he doesn't win the championship, but he keeps his picks, and then he's absolutely dominant for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, so a pretty good team. You get an 8 at quarterback, a 6 at running back, 7 at wide receiver, and 6 at tight end. And really the best way to make your positional grades go up, like I said, in a 1 QB where you're starting only 8 is to go get studs. So we're going to target studs here. You have 3 of the top 12 producing QBs in a 1 QB format. And again, that caps your overall ceiling. That's what we put in here in our suggestions box. Also, alongside that, clear out any running back volatility and major question marks and focus only on wide receiver and tight end, especially going into the offseason. We really don't need to have even Tyjae Spears, like he was a buy. He's not so much a buy anymore.
Yeah, I think he'll become an even greater buy after the draft. I just don't see Tennessee realistically drafting another running back in this class. So he'll just keep going up. And then at that point, you could definitely look at it for sure.
Kittle is great. Acquire a second tight end. Like, I'm trying to think. You guys should put Kincaid on there. Kincaid's a good one.
Is this format tight end premium?
Yeah, it was tight end.
Yeah, that's why Kincaid's such a good target here, because he's super cheap. He's kind of been shorted a little bit because of how insane Sam Laporta was, like a historically productive tight end. Dalton Kincaid looked very, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
So, really solid situation, especially with the future draft capital here. But even, the fact that you could potentially push to contend this year, I love where this Dynasty team is at. Don't hesitate to go win money if you can do it. So, Noah, we appreciate you being a member of the flock. I'll let you do our next blueprint here. Our next blueprint is coming to us from our guy, Qui Lava, and we appreciate you being a member of the flock, man.
Yeah, Qui Lava. Have we gotten that one pulled up? Sweet. Q. There we go. Oh, it's the only Q that we've done. All right. Yeah, so you've got a pretty well-rounded team. This is going to be a 12-team, 1 QB, start 8, I believe. And you are starting defense here. You got Josh Allen as your QB. In a 1 QB, you cannot get any better. Like seriously, you're chilling there. You're looking fine. At the running back position, David Montgomery and Jonathan Taylor are going to be your best guys. And then on your bench, you do have Devin Singletary and Roschon to compensate. Those are guys that could be, especially Roschon Johnson, on the rise this year. And I forgot to note that you have Kyler Murray on top of Josh Allen on your bench in a 1 QB. Is that a little bit overkill? Yeah, but it's a nice situation to be in because you have a lot of capital to play around with for your other league mates that are probably in need of a rushing upside QB like a Kyler Murray. At the wide receiver position, you got Ayuk and Rashee Rice and Nico Collins. So again, nothing super crazy upside-wise. I mean, you got Higgins on your bench also and Jaden Reed. Again, these aren't like your elite of the elite assets, but it's just such a good situation to be in because you have so much value. I mean, that even in an 8 or in a 12-team start 8 with 1 QB format, like, I'm sorry, that's a 9 out of 10. That's a 9 out of 10. That's a really, really good position to be in where T. Higgins is probably going to increase in value significantly once we know what his future outlook is. And Jaden Reed, the only reason he's being shorted right now is because Christian Watson is still around, even though he hasn't done crap. Marquise Brown as well, same thing with him. Michael Wilson, so you've got that like Arizona Cardinals stack, and hopefully MHJ comes in and kind of helps Michael Wilson produce a little more in his own right as well. Absolutely love that situation. At the tight end position, you've got Trey McBride and Darren Waller and Dallas Goedert just chilling on your bench as well. It's a good situation to be in. Oh, and Devon Achane, forgot to even mention him on top of Jonathan Taylor. You're not only are you well-rounded, you're pretty much elite at every single position. I mean, you've got 8s and 9s all over the place here on your positional grades, your cornerstone assets off the charts. You have really good picks. You got the 103 this year, 203, 209, 210. You are missing your 26 first, which is pretty far down the road, so I'm not super concerned, especially over the next couple of years. Let's just keep trying to win your league just in case something bad happens in 2026. You don't want to be in the hole. Let's look to trade away Nico Collins. This is a start 8 league. Let's get a safer situation, and let's go target a guy like a JSN, who we know what that situation is going to look like for the foreseeable future. We know what the draft capital investment was. We know they're not going to bring in another crazy expensive wide receiver or do another early draft pick with a wide receiver. They have DK Metcalf paid under contract, and they have JSN. They brought him in for a reason. He will be Tyler Lockett's replacement, but better. Devon Achane, let's get some consistency here. Yeah, he has a high ceiling, but if you can get Kyron Williams instead, Kyron Williams is scoring the same amount of points every single week. Achane's doing it every other week if he even stays healthy. Brandon Ayuk, let's get an actual producing wide receiver 1. I don't mean to be petty here, but if you pay a little bit on top of Brandon Ayuk, you can get an actual producing wide receiver 1. Why count on Brandon Ayuk being a top 12 producing wide receiver when you can get one for A.J. Brown and just pay a little bit more.
That's a nice deal.
It really is not that expensive. I promise you it's not. Josh Downs, if you can get Josh Downs in any of these deals as a throw-in, do it. It's kind of a see what happens play. Sure, there's questions with him and maybe his upside long-term, especially in this format, but he's so shorted already, and he was so productive as a rookie wide receiver in a terrible situation that he could actually be something, and he can do a lot of things in the short to intermediate game and down the field as well. Your running backs with 2 to 3 year guaranteed situations are solid targets overall. It doesn't have to be Kyron Williams. It can be another running back like maybe a Rachaad White, who's a lot cheaper. You can get him. He's got a 2-year guaranteed situation really in Tampa Bay. Wait to sell any contract wide receivers like Brandon Ayuk, who I mentioned earlier, until their situation in 2024 is set. The same thing's going to apply to T. Higgins that you also have. There may be a situation that calls for you selling T. Higgins as well. I hope not, but he could skyrocket in value if he goes to a different situation where he's expected to be the wide receiver 1. You may want to explore down tiering from Josh Allen or Kyler. I hesitate to say Josh Allen because he's the best asset in Dynasty Fantasy Football in a 1 QB format. Like, it's really hard to get rid of a guy like that, but if you can get another hyper-productive rushing upside quarterback and get something on top that's a high ceiling asset at another position, maybe it's worth exploring. I know for a fact that you don't need both of those guys on your roster.
Yeah, you don't need both of them.
Bofa.
Quilava, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for being a member of flockfantasy.com/Jermaine. I guess I'll say real quick, this is how you get a blueprint. This is how you get it reviewed. You get on the show. You get personalized team advice, getting one-on-one strategy sessions from Nathan and I, and also get, of course, our 2024 Dynasty Domain Rookie Draft Guide. You flockfantasy.com/domain, and as it says in the bottom right corner, use code domain. You can follow the link above. Follow the link in the description. We got links everywhere, but flockfantasy.com/domain. I'll leave this up for a second. You can scan the QR code if you want a blueprint, and then you can get yourself a blueprint, and then you can join the community. Get yourself a blueprint. Treat yourself. Yeah, I saw Dorky D here. Dorky D, what's up? Good to see you.
Hi, Dorky D.
Lots of you guys. We're not going to be able to answer probably every question tonight, but if you come back,
Super Chats jump the line.
Yeah, Super Chats jump the line too. I guess I should say that. But let's go to our next blueprint. Actually, let's keep it rolling here. We got 3 more to do. I think 3 is right. So Connor Malone. I saw Connor here tonight. He said it was his first stream making it too. So Connor, good to have you here, man. Glad you made it. And let's go and do your team. Appreciate you being a part of the flock. Appreciate you being a supporter. We've loved having you around. I've loved talking to you, man. You've got a 10-team league here that is a wide receiver factory. So this team, not a super flex. It's a 1 QB. You got 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs along with 2 flex. Looking at your starting lineup, Lamar as your quarterback. So that's going to grade out very well. Lamar Jackson being your starting quarterback is going to get you an 8 out of 10. Jonathan Taylor and Breece Hall at running back. That's going to get you a 9 out of 10. So far, so good. Moore, Waddle, Addison. That's probably going to get you, what, a 7? That's exactly what I was thinking. 7 out of 10. And then your tight end being Sam Laporta. That's a 9.
And Saquon Barkley just chilling.
And Saquon Barkley just down there in the last flex spot. Yeah. Love to see that, right? But Saquon, Jordan Addison, good flex. You got plenty of cornerstones here. Jackson, JT, Breece Hall, Waddle, Addison, and Laporta. This is a 2-year contend and then a reload. Your depth, not super duper fantastic, but again, how many we're starting here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't need a ton of depth, so we're okay with this. Again, it's a wide receiver factory. You have a ton of wide receivers, but we're going to look to trade a couple of these guys away. Jordan Addison, we're going to look for somebody with higher upside. JSN has higher upside than Jordan Addison, in our opinion. And Tank Dell is also a guy playing alongside C.J. Stroud. And supposedly his wide receiver 1 that we would say has some upside in this format and definitely some boom upside in terms of a game-by-game perspective. DJ Moore, somebody with a safer situation there. So like a Deebo Samuel is a very good example of that. And then Saquon, somebody with a longer future outlook like Rachaad White. You can down tier to Rachaad White and get quite a bit on top still for Saquon. Saquon not as urgent because he's turning into a little bit of a buy low, but when you're looking at your contender rebuild scale, you've got great cornerstone assets, and you still lean contend, but this is a really balanced team, very much like this one. And honestly, we didn't get your draft capital, so we don't really know what that's like, but it's all about upside in a 10-team start date. Mentioned that earlier. High floor players win you nothing, so don't have high floor players. Addison's kind of a high floor guy. That's why we have him on Players Trade. 2 top 5 running backs is phenomenal, and prioritize the wide receiver position this offseason because your running backs are pretty freaking good. And also keep in mind, rushing quarterbacks are less valuable in 6-point passing touchdown formats. What's up?
He just asked a question.
Oh, Connor did? All right, cool.
Yep.
Let's bring Connor's question up. Oh, what's a trade? What's a trade I can make for Tank? I'm struggling hard to get him. All right, let's look at your roster here. Give him a trade. Let's do
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, and let's look at his bench.
DJ Moore and Tank Dell are very close to value equivalent.
So who do we want on
Superflex
top?
leagues?
If you've got any seconds or thirds, try there.
He's got 4 seconds, he just said in another comment.
3 first, 4 seconds. Let's try DJ Moore in a second, and then I would even go maybe 2 seconds if they're later. Don't you think?
For Tank Dell?
Yeah.
Oh, no. DJ Moore and Tank Dell are back-to-back in market value right now.
But people probably aren't viewing them like that. If you had to pay, I'm saying if you had to pay that, if that's what got the deal done, I'd probably still do it.
I'd probably pay a second. I would agree with you there. Probably I wouldn't go as far as 2 just to respect the market value.
I would go, if it's 2 late seconds, I would go 2 late seconds. If they're 2 early seconds, I would not do that. But late seconds are dart throws. So I would do 2 late seconds.
They are late seconds.
That's what I'm saying. If they're late
if
seconds, I would do DJ Moore in 2 late seconds.
Yeah.
If it's a mid second, I'd probably do DJ Moore in a second. So I would try that, Connor.
Always try to throw some depth in there just to move the needle a little bit because for some reason people are attracted to that.
Yeah.
So do that first before you do picks.
But this is a good team, and your starting lineup is good. Like
Right.
you don't have to do a ton here to compete next season. We're just looking to insulate our value a little bit and raise our ceiling. That's really what we're doing. This is small tweaks to make sure we have a juggernaut of a team when it comes time to compete. Yeah. So keep in mind, again, rushing quarterbacks are less valuable in 6-point passing touchdown. That kind of has an effect on Lamar. You could down tier from Lamar to Jordan Love, maybe, and get a lot on top. Brock Purdy, maybe, get a lot on top. Tua, get a lot on top. Get some high upside guys. That's what it's all about. Or even get some guys you can package together to get some high upside guys. So, Connor, good team, man. Love where you sit with it. I love your build, and I think it's going to be very successful next year. Even in a 10 team, I think it's solid. So, appreciate you, man. Thanks for being a member over on flockfantasy.com/domain. Nathan, you got our guy Oceans with a Z. Oceans with a Z. Oceans, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for being a member of the flock. Thanks for supporting us. And
he's here reporting for duty.
Oceans is here. Oh,
Let's
yep.
go.
Oceans reporting for duty. There he is. What's up, Oceans? XX Oceans. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Oceans has a 10-team league here. It is a super flex. RB is only going to be half PPR compared to wide receivers being full PPR. I am saying this right off the bat because that significantly impacts the value of running backs in this league, specifically receiving upside running backs. You have Tony Pollard and Josh Jacobs. If Tony Pollard was already not plummeting in value so much in normal formats,
right,
he's definitely not worth as much in a half PPR for running back. So it's an unfortunate situation for you because I would look to, potentially offload him for a younger asset. But at this point, you're kind of stuck with him and hoping that he gets a nice landing spot, a nice situation. With Josh Jacobs is interesting in this format, and I'm almost reluctant to say sell him or be super excited to do that because he doesn't really have a ridiculous amount of receiving upside. He is like your bell cow, stereotypical bell cow running back that gets, 20, 25 carries a game and doing a lot on the ground. He's not going to get a ton of receiving usage. So hang on to those guys. And you got Madison, Elijah Mitchell, Dobbins, Charbonnet on your bench. Charbonnet is a curious case. I'd definitely hold on to him as well. He is not nearly valued as high as he could potentially be in the future. Your dual elite QB situation. You got Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray, Geno Smith to chill on your bench in case you need to put him in. Same with Derek Carr. It's a good situation to be in. There's not many moves I'm doing there at the quarterback position. I'm very comfortable with what you have there. Your wide receivers, solid. Absolutely solid. A.J. Brown, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Addison. On your bench, you've got Christian Kirk, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy even, Mike Williams. You could have been a wide receiver factory as much as a dual elite QB in this format. You got 9 out of 10 for both. Running back grade, obviously not going to be as much. Your tight end grade is fine. You got Evan Ingram. He is a crazy good value. And Cole Kmet on your bench. I mean, that's a really good situation to be in when you've got a guy like Evan Ingram who's so cheap and so affordable, and he's producing as a top 6 to 7 tight end. This is going to be tight end premium. I am going to say something, though. As much as I like Evan Ingram, I'm going to tell you to pair him with Cole Kmet and let's go get an elite tight end. You can afford more than TJ Hawkinson. I do have him as a target here, but if you can sprinkle some, maybe some depth because you have a lot of it at the wide receiver position on top of Cole Kmet and Evan Ingram, and maybe like that second that you have in draft capital, see if you can't go get Sam Laporta, because even though Sam Laporta is the tight end 1 in Dynasty right now, he's still very affordable, and I don't want to say people are low on him, but even in tight end premium formats, he's not going nearly as high as I think he should be. Like Kyle Pitts had a less productive rookie season than Sam Laporta did, and he was going as high as the 108 in Dynasty Superflex startups. It was unbelievable. Sam Laporta isn't even sniffing that draft capital in a startup draft, and he's just straight up better. I think a lot of people have Kyle Pitts PTSD. Do whatever you can to go acquire a guy like Sam Laporta. If you literally can't, and whoever has Laporta absolutely refuses to do it, go get a target like TJ Hawkinson, and it will not cost you much at all. It's a win-win regardless of whoever you end up getting there. Jordan Addison, let's get some higher upside. You can get higher upside at the wide receiver position or the running back position, all in the same tier. I'm looking at guys like Kyron Williams in the same range. I'm looking at maybe even down tiering from Jordan Addison and getting Jaden Reed plus a lot. Jaden Reed, Jaden Reed has a higher chance of scoring more points than Jordan Addison.
What?
Jaden Reed has a higher chance of scoring more points. He does. In that situation, he could be a wide receiver 1. Shut up. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, if you can get a safer situation and get a better wide receiver, please do by pairing those guys together and getting a younger developmental asset. Stop.
Are you
It's
seeing
bad.
He's commenting?
Very, very bad.
So
Who's commenting?
That's what I was telling you.
Ocean's comment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to crap on me. He says, RB has been a tough goal of mine. Trying to get James Conner for a 25 second at the moment looks likely to happen.
Would you make that trade?
What?
Would you make that trade?
No.
I was going to say I wouldn't.
Oceans, what I would do is avoid that. James Conner
opposite.
is going nowhere but down. And even if the Cardinals don't draft a running back, which I think is possible this year, he's going to keep decreasing in value because he's getting older and older and older. I mean, I paid a second for him last year going into 2023, and people were saying that was almost an overpay. Don't do it now. I would not recommend that. He also says the Detroit fan has Laporta, so I think he's retiring there. Might be able to target McBride, though. Yeah, I'm not against McBride. I'm not like a crazy high McBride truther, but McBride and Hawkinson are like in the same tier. McBride's a little more valuable. At that point, you may as well just get the cheaper option in Hawkinson. But I have no problem with McBride really at all. I guess I just have a couple. I have a couple more questions with him because there is going to be a lot of offensive turnover in Arizona, and if they bring in a guy like Marvin, will that help McBride? Will that hurt McBride? I don't really know. There's just more question marks there. We really know what we're going to get in Minnesota, like a. Not like a box of chocolates, I guess. So if you got receiving running backs, they got much less value in this format, like I already said. Target wide receivers with high upside and high opportunity share. That's really going to be what sets you apart from your league mates. It's got a top 4 producing tight end, like I already said. Already went on that spiel. Overall, really like the outlook of your team. Very promising. Love that you have the 103 in this format, too.
Oceans, we appreciate you, man. Oceans with a Z. And thanks for dropping into the live stream as well. We love seeing you here. Our last blueprint is from our guy, The Dawn. They say it is darkest before the dawn. 17, 10 team.
Ooh, before you do that,
I was spitting what?
This one guy says 111 for Jaden Reed.
Yes, please.
I would pay the 111 for Jaden Reed. Yes, please.
The Dawn, appreciate you, man. You are in a 2-quarterback league, but not super flex. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. So it's essentially a super flex, though. You treat it like a super flex. 9 bench, and it's a 10 team again. Looking at your starting lineup, your 2 QBs are Hurts and Murray. Dual elite QB and elite value build. Let's go ahead and start this one off with the grades, okay? Because this is just one of the better teams we've probably ever seen when we've done blueprints. You've got a 9 out of 10 at QB, an 8 out of 10 at running back. Your running backs being Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, right? At wide receiver, you're also doing very well, 10 out of 10. Chris Olave, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin on your bench, Drake London, Devonta Smith. What in the freaking world? And tight end, TJ Hawkinson in your starting lineup. You've got Kyle Pitts, and you have, that's like a 5, but Isaiah Likely takes it to a 10.
Isaiah
Likely is the one.
Yep.
So your depth is also a 10 out of 10. Guys, this is one of the highest graded. When you're talking about like points taken off of the 5 grading categories we do, he's down 1 in tight end, 2 and 1. So he is 4 points away from a perfect score. Like, even in a 10-team league, this team is ridiculous.
We don't give out perfect scores.
We do not give out perfect scores. It's like Dave Portnoy pizza reviews. But 2 contending years and a reload year. And look at your cornerstone assets. You've got 2 at QB and Hurts and Murray. You've got 2 at running back with McCaffrey and Taylor. You've got 2 at wide receiver with Nakua and Olave. You've got 1 at tight end with Hawkinson. You could honestly put Kyle Pitts in there, maybe. It's hard to recommend moves for these types of teams. I love having you over there. I love chatting with you. I've loved getting to know you. There's not much I can do to help you here. Now, there are some trades you could make. Again, we still want to get small value wins. We still want to just beat the crap out of everybody in this league. That's the goal, right? Win money.
For sure.
I had the best team I've ever had this year in a Dynasty League, and I lost. Nothing is guaranteed in Dynasty. Nico Collins or DJ Moore, we're going to trade for a safer situation. Christian McCaffrey, we're trading for an early first or a younger running back. Guy like Kyron Williams are way down tier into Tyjae Spears, but I would probably target Kyron or JT there. I would be pretty uncomfortable going that far to Tyjae. You'd need a ton on top. You'd need an asset a lot more valuable than Tyjae, in my opinion.
He's more of the throw-in target in this whole thing.
Kyle Pitts and Isaiah Likely for a late first or a running back. Again, you can probably get Tyjae for Isaiah Likely at this point. Which is pretty funny.
Not quite.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You'd be surprised. I don't know. All right, your draft capital grade right in the middle there. You got the 107, 207. You still got your picks. I mean, my goodness. I don't know how you didn't win your league last year. We've already went over your positional grades. And again, you're elite at every position. Increase your upside because, again, this is not a start 10. I believe this is a start 8. So upside. Again, you've got 10 out of 10 depth score. Get your depth score down to a 7 and have the best starting lineup anybody's ever seen. This is a very, very good lineup. Your starting lineup is set. Get high ceiling prospects to build future value, and then try to get a second elite tight end and help you carry through the hawk. Again, we say this and
because you can do it.
Because you can do it, and I think I would be super happy if this were my team. I don't know about you, but there's not a lot I can tell you to do here. I think sometimes we get people that join that they're just like, my team is so good, I'm going to blow their socks off. And my socks were off after this one. So, the Don, appreciate you being a member of the flock. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to join the flock and be a part of the domain community, flockfantasy.com/domain. You use code domain and you get a team blueprint. We'll review it on the stream for you, whatever. Our goal is to help you build dynasty teams while also supplying you with a plethora of really good resources over there on flockfantasy.com. You got the trade calculator. You've got all of our rankings. You've got all the databases, including the rookie draft guide that we just released. So 2024 rookie draft guide that we just published, about 50 pages long. We're going to have the second version out for the combine, but you get that and the blueprint when you sign up with code domain at flockfantasy.com/domain. Like I said, use code domain to unlock those two things, but we'd love to have you over there. We got lots of dynasty people and we're growing, and the site is growing every day. So like I said, flockfantasy.com/domain. Appreciate you guys. Dynasty, actually, there's Mason there. I said I happily trade any of my dynasty teams for that one, talking about the last one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all, Mason? Wouldn't we all? It was quite the team. I don't even I'm moves to make. Stay put, I guess. I don't know.
Guys, we just did 10 blueprint reviews.
Yeah. And we will, again, so
10.
If you sign up tonight with code domain, submit your blueprint in the form, and then send friend requests to Nathan and I. We'll get connected with you tonight. Get a plan for your dynasty team. Start working with you one-on-one to try to get you better at playing dynasty fantasy football and to build dynasty teams. That's the goal. We love dynasty. We live dynasty fantasy football. So,
yep.
All right. We're at an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm drained because we just did 10 blueprints. So, we didn't get to all of our...
How are you more drained than I am? That's like the most bizarre thing ever.
I don't know.
It never happens.
I don't know,
man. I don't know.
Bringing for Hummel says longest live stream I've seen. You probably weren't around for the 3-hour live stream we did that one time. Oh, that was fantasy, wasn't it?
I think it may have been,
yeah.
And that one was. Man, you should have seen me the last hour.
Oh, that was.
It was-
Yeah, remember that was when I told you to go home.
You told me to go home.
You were glazed.
And I was just answering questions until like midnight.
Bye, Nathan. Bye. Hope
All right,
you find
speaking-
peace
Yeah, he actually
your
left.
apartment.
Yeah, no, he did. He got up and left.
I should not have been
He was asleep essentially.
Yep.
I'm open to
It was
stress. We love you,
driving
man.
under the influence of sleep
That's true.
on the way
Or
home.
6
It
inches
was
of
not
snow in an
safe
hour,
for me to
so.
drive home.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great week. Hummel says apologies for the man bun train. You know, it's all right. I understand.
Hey, for the
Don't worry
bun.
about it. We'll see you guys over on the Discord. Power of the man. All right, we got to cut it here. Guys, we love you. Appreciate you. We'll see you later. Peace out.
For the bun.
Yeah, for the bun. Whatever. Yeah.